my scrappy friends, this is Hannah with you today, and if you've been following me this whole month of July, Megan and I have been sharing videos every day on our channels. So definitely make sure you look in the info box below so you can check out Megan's channel or her video for today. So I am working on some mixed media stuff because who doesn't like mixed media? So I will say that this first bit of mixed media is actually inspired by some stuff that I seen Brianna do. And she is on the Sparklers website, the Sparklers design team. So that's Spiegel Mom Scraps. And she's also on the Shimmers design team too. So she's a newer addition. Sometime this year, I think was when. But anyway, so she did some mixed media with a stencil, and then she went over it with some distress ink. Now, I am going to sort of do that, but I'm going to use the re-inkers and the concentrated watercolors. So it is going to look a little bit different. I also mixed in some regular texture paste with some Prima snowflake paste, which is like a really thick, gritty texture paste that has, I want to say sparkles in it, but it's glitter. It's like a iridescent glitter. So it is glittery. I don't really think you can see it when I do this part. So I did start off with this Distress Oxide. This is the only Distress ink pad that I have that's a full one, which is weird. I don't know. I guess it's just because I don't do enough stamping. I didn't really care for the Oxide one. One of it was probably because I tried to use an old foam pad. I don't have that many of the foam pads. I actually have more of just the alcohol pad one, which is more felt. And it does work a little bit. So I will say, because I did the gesso first, that does change the way it looks a little bit. And I will say that those felt pads are really tough on any kind of stencil-y stuff. So this is a concentrated watercolor, and it's from Art Philosophy, I think. And so this is a dark purple. Yikes, I'm really knocking that camera. Sorry about that. And you can see where the concentrated watercolor really just does not mix so well. And then this one is some Jane Davenport, the concentrated watercolory ink stuff that she has. And that one worked a little bit better. But you can see like that first little bit that I used was really concentrated into the paper where it didn't have the gesso. But then also where I had the gesso, it kind of pooled a little bit more. So as you'll see me go, because I go back over it so I can get this really vibrant color, because it really does look really cool. Maybe not the way I thought it was going to look, but this is one of those things that I had never tried doing this. I'm not really sure why, but it's just really fun. So I'm glad I seen her do it. She did it with rainbow. So if I can remember, I'll try to have her lay out in the info box below so you can see what she did, because hers looks awesome too. So yeah, I'm doing some more of this dark color. Oh, no, I used some shimmer spray, some of the vibes, and then I'm going to go back over with the darker color again. I did want that gradient of a color, and I'm trying to mix these colors just a little bit so that I get some blending, but it was really hard in the regular cardstock. So this is dry for the most part. And then I remembered that we got this stuff from Shimmers, and they haven't really shown too much. I'll make sure I link to this product in their store, but it's called 24 Carats, and it's basically like a really thick or a really thin texture paste that's gold. So it's almost like a really thick acrylic gold paint. It is awesome, and it worked really great with putting it on this felt and then just going back over everything. I will say on the mint color, the cracked pistachio, I don't feel like it looks as nice. I don't know. It looks more yellow than it does. Maybe just because the gold part, the yellow from the gold mixed with the yellow from the mint. Because mint is essentially green with a little bit of yellow and a lot of white. It's not like a really light green. So I am doing this all around the edges. And as you can see, it's done. And so my thought was to, I decided to switch out this background paper because I wanted something a little bit more white. So I decided, I had already knew that I probably was going to just take the middle part and just use that stencil part. So on top of this. Now, here's the thing is, I didn't want to waste that background paper because it's really pretty. It looks like those tiles that you have up in your ceiling that are painted, and like sometimes they even had wallpapers that were like that. An old house that we lived in had those tiles for the ceiling in the dining room, and they look really cool, but they look old too. So I did cut these down for the areas that I knew I was gonna need them. And I am only putting tape on the one side because I knew I wanted to stitch this on. This will give it some more texture, but it'll help it stick down. It is gonna kind of warp it a little. So this is the thing about when you stitch a huge big piece of paper on like this, is it can bunch and warp just a little bit, but it's okay. It's one of those things that you're like, oh, it's okay. Once it sits in the album, once it sits with a whole bunch of layouts on top of it, you really don't notice it as much. So these are the pictures that I'm using, and they are 2 pictures of me and Megan. I believe they're 3x3. And they're us laughing and making really goofy faces. So when I went to go see her in September, we did a photo shoot together. Her husband, Mark, was really awesome and took the pictures of us so that we didn't have to do like timers or anything. So it was really fun. And, you know, I mean, a photo shoot with your best friend is just not a fun photo shoot until you do like some really goofy photos, some pictures of funny faces. So you have me making like a really scrunchy nose face. Like I used to do it a lot when I was a kid, scrunch up my nose, and I'm doing that. And then you got Megan making all weird faces. So hopefully she doesn't kill me too much for putting crazy picture faces up all over. So I knew I wanted to use this paper a little bit because it has a lot of the lighter pinks and then the purples, and I thought that that would go well. But I did kind of have to think more about where there was more pink. And so I'm trying to kind of match like pink purples with these mint teal colors because I'm thinking that that's going to look really nice. But I also want to go and get some stuff from my new stuff. Like I bought a whole bunch of new papers for the summer, and so I want to make sure I use some of that as well. But those Stampin' Up papers are really cute and they're really vibrant and pretty, so, and purpley. And so I did pull out some Cocoa Vanilla. I thought about using that, but I don't end up using that one. And then so I'm just kind of trying to figure out which ones I want to layer, and I really like that paper. It's so gorgeous. I definitely want to use like a strip of that or something. The black and white part is really nice too, by the way. I think that's Dear Lizzie, if I'm not mistaken. I know that I got some Dear Lizzie, a whole bunch of Art Walk, some Chamel stuff. So, and then I'm going to add that purple on the back. And these are going to be like wonky layers. I don't want them to be perfect, but I do kind of play around with this, trying to figure out exactly where I want to cut it so I get enough of it. And this, I need that trusty old trimmer. It just keeps coming back. I tried to get a new Stampin' Up! Trimmer, and I have one, but then they changed the trimmer, and so now I can't use the old blades. So I need a new one. But I really do like this one. It's nice and sturdy. It's just sometimes that blade just likes to not want to work. So I thought it would be nice to add these black and white dots underneath. Just kind of give it something else to help ground it. I mean, obviously you have this chunk of vibrant, awesome paper, right, floating in the middle, but I feel like it needed just something else, just kind of to make it feel like a shelf that went down, like a hanging shelf. And then I did take some of the leftover paper and put it up at the top. So then I realized, well, I need to find something for the bottom. And I remembered that I had this other citrus, I keep wanting to call it citrus twist, like citrus vanilla. It's not, it's cocoa vanilla. That like watercolory type paper in more of a purple color. So I'm going to use that on the bottom. And I like how you kind of see the one side has more of one color and the other side has. So that is also, that's one canoe too. And that is a little bit more of that mint color. So I kind of put that down at the bottom too, underneath that ledge. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I had these triangles and they're fun and they're like that paper, but not as big. And so I liked that as opposed to using the paper. I felt like the paper was just a little too big and was going to detract because the color isn't quite what is on that background. So I'm sorry you can't see up at the top. I didn't realize I was cutting it off. I do kind of have to like crop this a little, but there's not a lot I can do if the top part is off. So anyway, I'm still trying to get my setup right. It's still not perfect. I can tell that it's not even, it's not flat up and down, but I can't use it flat up and down. So I think I'm going to try one other thing. So just bear with me while I try to get the perfect setup, which is never going to be perfect. I like to use tags, so I'm going to use this tag. And then I had these, and they're like beautiful colors, and I couldn't not use it. So I was looking through some of my stash from old kits, from Click Kits, and I seen the Simple Stories pack, like for planners and stuff, but they have a lot of like these colors. I tried to use this. I'm not sure if I use it or not. I know I was trying real hard to use it. I don't know if you guys ever, oh, I did use it. It's just the corner though. But see, it's like, I don't know. Do you guys ever do that where you have this piece and you're like, oh, I got to make it work because the color is going to work really good. And like, so you seriously work super hard to find a place for it. I should have just given up, but that's okay. So there's that cocoa vanilla sticker, and then I used those Simple Story stickers. I really like that. The mint and the purple are like perfect combo to work for this layout because they were really similar. So I'm just like really looking through this going, okay, what can I use? Because these are planner type stickers. So I really have to look to see what bits I can use on an actual layout, because a lot of the stickers had to do with planner stuff, you know, like to-dos and all that stuff. And once again, you can't see what I'm doing up at the top. Basically, I'm trying to do what I did on the bottom. Man, guys, my roots are like really super horrible. I'm sorry about that. Sorry you have to be subjected to the shiny gray. At least it kind of looks like blonde. But it's not. It's gray. Anyway, I'm still trying to use some of this Good Vibes stuff. It's been sitting near my desk. Hopefully next month I'll just put it away and be like, okay, Hannah. Sometimes I do that. I like have something out near my area. Then I'm like, oh, maybe I should try to use this up. And they had these little stickers that said dates on it. So I'm going to fiddle with this. It keeps moving around because it's a sticker. And I'm trying to poke it underneath something. And then I decide to move that back up to there. I like it back up at the top. I felt like it was a little weird down there. So, and it has just a little bit of that gold. So it'll work in with that gold doily. And I did add that because I did add the gold on the, on that paper. So I kind of wanted to make sure that I had a little bit of gold throughout my layout. And I'm going to use some gold on my title too. So don't worry, there's more gold. So now that big is not going to stay there. And then I found these Maggie Holmes little mirror acrylic pieces and they're super cute. But the mirror part came off of the heart, but that's okay. And I thought about using that, but I don't know. I didn't feel like it worked. So I let it go. I don't try to make that one work. And that's okay. And then I found this Loving This. That is from Fifth and Monaco. And it's really fun. I will say in the pictures, it didn't show as gold as it is. It looks more yellow. But it actually is gold. And then I found this. And I'm just going to leave it like that. I actually didn't really glue it down. We'll see how long it lasts on the layout. I definitely am planning on doing a layout share coming up this week, probably next week towards the beginning of the week, just so you guys can see the stuff that I've worked on throughout the last few months. I have a few containers of layouts that I've been working on. So, and then I found these gold alphas that I had for the Love of Homemade kit. And this is where I decided to move the big. Because I wanted to use a great because I really like that black. And then, so it says great friends and big laughs. So I wanted to add just a little bit more gold. Because why not? But this was a really fun layout. I plan on using the other part of this. I will say because this is modeling paste and like really textured modeling paste because of the Prima stuff, this title did not want to stick. In the end, you see, I put that on there. I like to weight it. And it seems okay for right now. I will probably have to put more stuff on it. I actually did think about like running it through the sewing machine, but I always have a hard time because I've broken my needles trying to do titles. I did have some of these purpley color cast hearts, so I'm going to add these on here. I wish I had some mint because that would have been fun to keep it mint on one side and purple on the other, but I did not. And then I thought, oh yeah, so I used 2 of those hearts. This one's going to go underneath the BU, but it takes me a minute to figure out that that's a good place for it. And I kind of wish I moved the green one maybe over near that day. I might move that later. It's not in the pictures, but I feel like that heart is just not that great there near the laughs. But this was a really fun layout, and it was really fun to like document when I went to Megan's, because I haven't done that many layouts with the pictures that we took there together. I mean, we did a lot of scrapbooking, and then I also ended up with doing some just gold splatters too, some Heidi Swap. I have a little bit left. So thank you guys for joining me today. Be sure to check out Megan's layout. It'll be in the info box below for her day today. And thank you guys for joining me all month. I've been having a blast sharing every day, but it will be nice to not share every day. And I will make sure I let you guys know what days I'm going to be posting what. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.